Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Geekt Gaming, where we bring you everything. There's news, reviews, interviews, and everything gaming-wise, all across every spectrum conceivable. Whether that's from Twitter to Facebook to YouTube to everything else that we're doing at the moment. We've had a bit of a hiatus.
Do you even speak?
I might even speak. I'm not excited about being back.
Wow.
I was even dancing to the Skype theme tune, man. Yeah, so we're back after being, having a bit of a break.
Yes, it was a while.
Much needed break, I think, actually, because I think there's been a lot going on. Everyone's got new jobs and things going on, and family stuff and adulting and gaming in between that somehow, and the rest of it, whatever else is going on. And obviously in between that, it's given us time to process things that have been going on in and around the world of gaming and geek stuff and a whole lot of other stuff that we can sort of catch up on. And of course, we can now introduce you to one of our new members of our team here at Geeked. And also, obviously, we have our very own Kieran.
Oh, yes.
So he's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
We have Alistair.
Well, hello there.
Greetings, good sir. Welcome to welcome to the podcast. First of all, this is going to be a first for you.
It is.
It's obviously you're not unused to talking to random strangers on the internet. Some of those random strangers, in fact, no. But going forward through this, you are going to appear. A few times. We haven't told you this yet, so I'm telling you this now. If you want to just sort of introduce yourself, what your gaming history is, let us know. I know, Dawn probably knows, but our audience doesn't. So take it away.
As Kieran and Dawn said, my name is Ali. I have been gaming for a long time across lots of retro formats, starting from Atari all the way up to PS4 current day. I mean, I've played a lot of games over a lot of formats, but primarily started off in the arcades back in the days when arcade games were 10p a go.
Ooh.
Everything from
wow.
literally 10p a go. Yeah, not like nowadays. A pound for an arcade game.
We'll have to start dusting off the cobwebs off Ali before.
Did somebody need to go over there and just get a broom and just over the shoulders, take the hair off of wherever it's falling
leaf
off?
blower, just blow the coppers. Sound good.
Do you know what? It'd probably do you the world of good. So over the years, obviously you've played a lot of games over a lot of systems, and I've known you for many a year at this point.
Many.
Probably like 25 odd years, which is quite scary when you think about it. Although you have known me since I was yay high to a grasshopper, because reasons.
Pretty much.
So Alistair is a family friend, because he's a friend of my uncle's. So obviously, like I say, many years of gaming. If you had to pick a highlight in your gaming career, what would you choose and why?
Highlight my gaming career, I think, would be finishing on Onimusha. Onimusha, great game, but Resident Evil-esque, set in feudal Japan. The camera angles, though, very... But yeah, the last bit of it, to get the Bishamon sword, where you had to go down through all the levels just to get the flute, to unlock the cave, to get that sword. Once you had the Bishamon sword, do the game again, and it was a breeze. I mean,
that sounds like... I think I've played an emulated version, and I know how hard that is. It's rock hard.
Mental hard.
But
it is proper difficult.
If that's your highlight, what would be the worst game you have ever played? Now, you don't have to beat around the bush here. The absolute worst piece of trash you ever played, bought, owned, done stupid things with.
Worst game ever played, probably on the Master System, called The Ninja, and it was something you wouldn't... I read the reviews, and back in the day, Sega Power back in the day said, this game's amazing, yeah, 4-star review, go buy it. So I went out, went to Toys R Us back in the day when Toys R Us was open, and I thought, yeah, cool, I'll have a copy of that. I got home, I put it in, and I finished it within an hour, and I thought, I spent 30 quid on this.
Ouch.
Damn. Back in those days, obviously, you couldn't trade games in, unlike nowadays. And it basically stayed at the bottom of my pile forever and a day.
Ouch. That's like buying a COD game every year and never playing it. Could you imagine?
World War II again? No.
Hey, can we recycle as much content as possible? Got 'em. So
That's it.
with these older systems, if you could choose one that you had to keep, or wish you'd never sold, or broke, or whatever might have happened to it, if you could choose one now, what would it be that you wish you'd still had?
My Sega Dreamcast, without a doubt. The Dreamcast was brilliant. It was so far ahead of its time. It was unreal. It had so many great games. You had Metropolis Street Racer, Soul Calibur, Jet Set Radio, Choo Choo Rocket.
Oh my god!
And the VMU unit itself. When you had Sonic Adventure, you put the VMU unit in the back of the controller, and you had a Chow Chow game.
Yep.
That you could link with the game itself.
It was the Chow Garden, I think.
Yep. That's the one.
I'm gonna have to. I need to find my Dreamcast. It bugs me. I don't know where it is. I've still got I know where the controller is, and I've got the VMU, and I need to get a little C-cell. I think it's a C-cell battery, little tiny flat one. I need to get some.
Ones.
Yeah, I need to get some. See if there's anything on it for a start. But I do have Sonic Adventure and possibly Sonic Adventure 2. I know I've got MSR. Oof.
I know.
What a game!
MSR's
What a
great
game!
MSR back in the day was like, so good.
Excuse me. So I'm gonna have to dig that out then the next time you pop over, I think, and
Yeah.
we'll get that plugged
Yeah,
up, and we
fish it
can.
out.
I think I've got 2 controllers somewhere, at least 2 controllers. We can definitely jam that.
Nice.
So, okay. I think that's good enough. I think we did all right there. We've condensed that quite well into about 6 minutes. So we know a little bit more. We're gonna learn more another time, because Ali has many a story, as do I, to tell. Generally, because we used to play a lot of games together, and there's some fucking golden stories that we will share. But we have some news. Now, Dawn, I know you watched this, or I assume you watched this. I know you were trying to stream it. Did you get a successful stream off of it?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, my laptop is absolutely crap. Okay. Now, I am promising you all I'm going to get myself a decent one. That is going to happen. It's going to have to happen for what I needed to do. So, I did try. I kind of predicted the way things would go with the showcase for PlayStation 2021. I'm not going to sit here and, like I say, I believe in honesty. I don't think, for me, there wasn't anything that was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Nothing like that at all. Okay, it was very, we know about this already. Yeah, you talked about that 2 to 3 times last year. Yeah, and if I hear one more thing about bloody Deathloop, I am going to lose it. Okay? Every goddamn media piece they put out there, whether it's a clip or a movie or a this or a that, it's Deathloop this, Deathloop that. Why are they trying so hard to sell a game that I don't think anyone's interested, if I'm honest. I'm just gonna say that I really like the look of Deathloop. It sucks balls. I've watched it, right? I've watched the gameplay. I've had a look at the footage. It's all balls. It's boring. It just looks really lifeless. There's not really anything, any more than anything that's been done before. It's not really unique. It's just, how can I put it? It looks to me as if it's got road-like tendencies that are stuck in there. So obviously, every time you play it, apparently there's supposed to be a bit of something different happens.
Yeah, I think it's like a randomly generated
randomizer. Yeah. So it's very much like a road-like kind of. It's like a staple diet of road-like games. It's bizarre. I personally don't like the look of it. I don't like the art style. I don't like how it looks. I think it sucks balls. When you think at the end of the day about the new consoles that we have out now and what we can really put them through, I would have expected a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
that's a little
understandable.
bit. Yeah, well, it's true, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
we're in the next gen of console
we are
now.
next gen now.
We're jumping up at a much higher level now. The difference.
We're like 9th generation now or something, aren't we, on consoles?
We
it
are
must be
indeed.
9th
we are
gen.
indeed now. Yeah.
Jeez.
So we're at a point now where I think Look, between PlayStation 1 PlayStation 2, I don't think the jump was massive. And then you kind of look at PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. That to me was that was quite an obvious change for me. That was huge, massive leap. And obviously you had the online thing. It all altered, and it kind of that changed the face of it completely. And then from 4 to 5, I don't actually feel like the jump is that big.
I think but we're some of the unlucky.
Speed and loading times, I get it. Okay, completely. But other than that, no, I really, really don't.
I think with some of the unlucky ones, that obviously we weren't able to get our hands on a system day one.
Because bots.
Because,
bots.
Why are we? But at the same time, I mean, I look at the technical background and I can see... I'm looking at screenshots of one of the games they announced, and oh god, it's going to look good. And these are captured PS5 screenshots.
And amongst all the average stuff, okay, there was some standouts, but the standouts to me still aren't. Look, there's games that have already been announced outside of the showcase that are going to be released on other consoles, as far as I'm aware. Things like Wukong. Which I'm not sure if you've seen the footage of that, but it's
not
seen
the latest one. I've been keeping up with it. I just haven't looked at the new stuff.
They released the footage about a month ago. Oh my god, it looks bloody epic, and they're really the attention to detail, the speed of the game flow. It just looks incredible. So I really do feel like that is going to be a massive game right there.
So maybe we'll see a little bit more of that soon then.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Releasing stuff now, then.
And of course, you've got Final Fantasy 16
yes.
coming out. So you look
there.
at that, and that looks incredible. Again, it looks beautiful. So that is, to me, I'm more excited about those two games than anything I saw in the showcase. If I'm honest with you, I just think there's better stuff outside that's already been announced that are not exclusive to just PlayStation. Now, if you're talking about exclusive to PlayStation, which again, the majority of what they announced last night is not exclusive. It's only a handful of them. So I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm weirdly angry. There's a couple of things I've seen I'm quite interested in, like the Square Enix release. I cannot remember for the life of me what that was called, but I'll look in a minute. But you've got. Obviously people are excited about God of War, for example, Ragnarok. There was a lot of people ushering that one in.
The hype on that and the behind the scenes that it's getting, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know if you've been on Twitter, but it's getting spicy.
He's still getting a bit chunky in his old age.
Well, we'll go through that in a minute, but let's cover what they've actually announced. So. They've got an entire page that sort of recaps everything, and then there's a bunch of links.
Yeah, I'm looking at it as we speak.
The last link, which is the first link. So, Knights of the Old Republic, or I'm not even going to bother friggin', is it KOTOR? I've actually got the original on PC. I didn't like it. But, having said that, it's being remastered for the modern age, from the ground up.
Oh, another remaster. Yay.
And it's being a PlayStation 5 exclusive at launch. So the PC is not getting it, even though it's a PC game. And if you're into your Star Wars, definitely check it out. I've watched the trailer, and from captured PS5 footage, because all of this stuff it looks amazing. And I didn't like it on PC. So hopefully I might enjoy it this time. Hopefully. But it's only because I've managed to play it on PC, and I was just like, I don't know if you remember KOTOR, Ali.
Yes, I had it on the original Xbox.
Did it really go on Xbox?
It came to Xbox.
Really?
Yes, it came to the original Xbox. Yes, it did.
Huh.
And it's one of them, you've got to put a lot of time into it to get the most out of it. But once you put the time in, my God, the game comes alive.
Typical Star Wars game though. You get godlike RPG, and it's like, oh, here we go, job done. I can kill everything now.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
So
get your godlike saber on the go.
I couldn't get as excited about it because I do love Star Wars, don't get me wrong, but I'm not as heavily into it as many people are.
No, it's going to be
Obviously, Alan, my
big.
fiance, he was, oh my God, the minute that popped up, he was just like, yes, get in there.
It's a very, very good announcement, I'm not going to lie.
It's his favourite Star Wars game.
So hopefully it's going to be mint on PS5, and we'll get to enjoy what was a very popular game. They also released a new trailer, which is a TV spot. Not really much to say about that, apart from it's a TV spot. Now, over the years, Ali's going to be very excited about this. We've come to a very big agreement that the only driving simulator in the world is one long-standing Gran Turismo. Now, we've played a lot of GT6, not as of recent, but when it was released and up until a year after release, we played a lot of it.
GT6 it was
great,
amazing,
and they finally, the gods have shined upon us, and they finally come down and said, "Thank you very much, and here's GT7, and here's a release date, and here's a bunch of other stuff." So there is a trailer. The trailer looks amazing. Captured on PS5, obviously, but this is one of those ones that's going to PS5 and PS4. The current outlook is it's going back to its old GT roots, with the likes of the tuning. You've got an old tuning shop, you've got the old GT Auto. If you remember the good old days of GT2, 3, you had GT Auto, changing oil, and God knows what.
Keeping your car clean.
Keeping the car clean. It was mad. It was mad.
I used to play Gran Turismo just mainly for the soundtrack. I mean, when I started playing it back in 1996, 97.
It was released on the
might have been there
on the original PlayStation. Yeah. It was.
I used to play that because it had one of my favourite feeder songs on there.
They kept feeder up until what, GT4. Well, they were still in the soundtrack, but yeah, they've got the obviously the old license centre back where you get to go and tear your hair out trying to figure out why you can't get a gold, even though you know you can get a gold. And it teaches you how to. That's why you're bold. Obviously, the livery editor is making a comeback, but this looks a lot more easy to use. We don't know until obviously we get our hands on, but definitely looks better than it was in GT6.
Oh yes.
Scapes is making a return, and if you have HDR, oh boy, it's going to look spicy. I love Scapes in GT6. It just, there's something about just taking pictures of cars, and obviously me being a photographer, it definitely makes me go, I want to take more pictures of cars.
It's just car porn for men.
It is.
That's all it is.
It is.
Let's just put it out there. That's all it is.
But these captured PS5 screenshots, obviously they are downscaled to a resolution, but even at that resolution that they're downscaled to, it looks incredible. So I'm hype. We've got legendary circuits.
It looks pretty. It does look pretty. It looks really. They've put a lot of work into it. You can see that, to do with how the motion sensors work on the controllers, stuff like that. How they can get drag on the wheel and what have you if you've got all the proper setup. And that was quite interesting watching about all the haptic feedback and how that works now with it and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
It's gonna be mad.
I don't play much in the way of car racing games. I used to, but I don't like the modern ones. I think they suck. I just don't know why. I used to like playing things like Destruction Derby on the PlayStation 1, I thought that game was the most mint thing ever. That was incredible. It's just brilliant. Well, Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that, and Twisted Metal, that was another one I used to play a lot of.
Maybe, just maybe, this will change your mind.
I hope
but it
so.
is
coming. It looks pretty. It does look pretty.
March 4th, 2022. So we've only got, 6 or so many months to wait, and then we can get our hands on this spicy memes that will be GT7.
Unless Kaz says otherwise.
Unless Kaz goes, it's going to be delayed again. And we'll be like, cool, it's GT, make it happen.
Yeah.
Now, please tell me people played God of War.
Do you know what? I used to, but I have not even played that last one.
Okay, so
I need to. I want to.
Okay, you need to sit down and play the PS4 God of War because it's fucking mad.
But then that would mean putting down Final Fantasy 14 and the other things I'm also in the middle of doing.
It definitely would. But Now, I watched the trailer, and I got hype as fuck for this.
It does look good.
And obviously all of this was captured again on PS5 in native resolution.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, Kratos is getting old. And theorists, including myself, are going, well, Kratos is going to die. We get to take on Thor and the remaining gods, if you will, Freya being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We have, obviously, the boy is back, but he's really no longer a boy, more of a young adult. Who knows? But the big thing about this entire game is not just its visuals and the fact that it's being released, but the hype around it and the lack of, in some cases. I was browsing Twitter today. So, do you remember the boat boarding sequence?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of people like, oh my god, it's the same as the last game. I'm just like, I am face palming at all these comments. Like, honestly, just like, why? Like, anyone would think it's done by the same people. Like, if it's not broke, don't fucking fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's you're not there to watch them jump on a boat. You're there to experience Norse mythology and the whole Aesir thing that they've got going on. Not the fucking loading. They're just getting on a boat. Who gives a shit? Like, fuck off. So yeah, that's. I hate it. I hate people. People are assholes.
Yeah, me too. At the end of the day, you know, you're gonna get some places where things are repeated, and obviously there are the overall game setups and some sort of studio design setup that they have. Is utilised time and time again. We know that obviously people like Ubisoft does that an awful lot.
Oh yeah. But the thing is,
the likes of Far Cry, not Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. There is a constant sort of rinse, repeat. They use the same sort of infrastructure that is already down.
Well, if it's there, you've already coded
it's there,
Use it.
And again, I'm just putting my business head on. If I'm not thinking about the consumer right now, I'm thinking about the business. If you can do something, and as you say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. For them, that clearly works. Their games still sell. People moan about them when they come out for being too long and too boring and this, that, and the other, but whatever. Either way, their games come out. They are usually very pretty. The storylines generally are pretty clever. And, you know, there's not much to complain about it, really. But the rinse repeat thing is becoming a bit of an issue now. I think people are starting to cotton on to this now. And as a business, they need to start really...
Well, this may be the last God of War game we ever see.
It probably will be.
Because I don't know how the story's going to pan out.
Well, Norse mythology doesn't go on forever anyway.
No.
It's like any other story. It all ends up in tragedy in the end.
In the end, everyone dies.
Yeah,
but this is what surrounds the game right now, and I kind of feel. Apparently, I was reading up on a lot of these comments, and there was a guy jumped in, and it was. I believe somebody else in a different dev team, but his mate works for Santa Monica, and he was in charge of designing and implementing this animation for boarding the boat, and it took him a year to do it for the first game on PS4 in 2018. A year to refine an animation.
I mean, that just shows how much detail is put into it.
Exactly, and you know that shit like the comments. Oh my god, it's the same. Why can't it be different? That takes the piss. I get that us as a consumer, as
gamers
gamers
are getting really, 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 really self-indulgent and really self-centered, and it's all about them all the time, which it is. It's all about the consumer. Of course, it is. From a business point of view, it has to be. Else, why would you produce anything? But they've got to stop being self-entitled. You're not entitled to anything.
No.
None of us are.
It's just bonkers. So I'm saying to these people that are getting on the animations to leave it be, just stop and enjoy the game. The game is actually, and I spotted this tiny little detail at the end of the trailer, that it says releasing on PlayStation consoles not console.
Ooh.
Consoles.
Consoles.
Nice.
So
I hope it becomes PlayStation 4 as well as the PlayStation 5.
it is indeed 2022.
Downside to that though, isn't there? Already.
Well,
Graphics.
Because what did PlayStation say only a matter of about a week ago?
at the end of the day, I don't care what they're saying. If they're releasing them on consoles, that means they're not giving up on the previous generation.
Which is great, but if you buy the PlayStation 5, it means you also have to pay another fee to update
Indeed.
to
Well-
the PlayStation 5 version.
And you know what? I
But
will
then again-
happily pay that money to play
Then
it.
again, what version of the PlayStation 5 you're going to get? Because Sony have announced they're doing a PS5 Pro.
I'm gonna fact check this right now.
Brack
'Cause,
up.
not that I don't believe you, but
No, this is the thing. PlayStation they're throwing all these things out there. That's really nice, you know. And obviously, to begin with, we were told that the Frozen Wilds, I think it is, whatever it is, Zero Horizon Dawn was supposed to be a free upgrade, and then they changed their mind and said they were going to charge people, and now people have gone absolutely bonkers about it. It's now free again, but they've said that that would be the last time that they'd be giving an upgrade to the PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation 4 for free.
well, it's, at the same time they did the same for 3 to 4. The upgrade path was a limited run for certain games. So if your game landed at like launch, so you were in between and you could release it on day one on the following generation between PS3 and PS4, it was like a 6 to 8 month thing where games
We're in
offering...
tough times right now, though. They've
Oh, yeah.
really got to start thinking that look, unprecedented things have just happened. It's bad enough that people that really want these consoles can't bloody well get them
No.
for love nor money.
Nope.
It's bad
gold
enough
dust.
now. It's bad enough now. So things are already really bad for people, especially those that are passionate about gaming. And I'm sorry, people can sit there laughing, oh, it's a child's toy. Gaming sucks. What the fuck ever. I don't really give a shit about anyone else's opinion. Right? At the end of the day, we love what we do. And it's a part of what makes us us. We come from a generation of children that were raised with gaming, consoles, arcades. They were massive in the day, and that's what we were surrounded by. So this is what we know. This is what we love. This is what we enjoy. And at the end of the day, it's one of the biggest growing businesses in the world.
Indeed,
Gaming.
it is.
Yeah, this year alone. You know, they've literally grown so much. It is a almost trillion business now. It's ridiculous. It's grown exponentially over the last couple of years because of COVID.
Well,
So,
going back to this PS5 Pro announcement confirmation, Ali, I don't know where you got your information from. However,
Oh, go on.
Forbes,
Yep.
you know, Forbes is pretty big.
It is.
September 8th. It's a rumor. They're not saying it's not happening. They're taking their information from a YouTube video, but don't expect it this side of 2022.
No.
Don't
I mean,
expect
Oh,
it
no, that
until
won't
later, possibly between
Christ.
in the mid 2020s.
well, they can't even get the parts for the one that's already been out for how old is that?
True.
PlayStation 5?
Well, that's-
PlayStation 5's only 2 years old already, isn't it?
Oh, only a year, isn't it? God, I
I
don't
mean,
even
Christ
know.
almighty, we can't even get one of them, and we're more than a year in. Like, come on.
It's,
Like, we're already...
Well, yeah,
crazy.
it'll be November, won't it? November 2021 is a year. The one thing that Sony have sort of semi-confirmed is, and much like I believe Xbox and a lot of the console manufacturers, is they're working on in-house components. So rather than getting other companies to build their CPUs or their dies, they're trying to do it in-house to reduce the costs down and make this machine just as powerful. Again, when we'll see these second generation versions is yet to be seen. There is a second generation PS5 floating about, however, that has actually got a smaller heatsink. It's still running on the same internals motherboard. They've just shrunk the heatsink, apparently.
Ouch. Springs to mind now.
Well, the thermals are actually no real difference. There's maybe 1 or 2 degrees in it. 1 or 2 degrees is not going to kill a system. Obviously, the advice is don't put it in a cabinet where it can't get airflow. Same goes for the Xbox Series X. This information comes from Sony and Microsoft, respectively. So, and that 1 to 2 degrees in a normal 20-degree room, 28-degree room.
Makes a difference.
It's not going to make a big difference at the end of the day. So that is a second generation PS5. The next generation, the Pro, whatever they decide to call it, I wouldn't worry about just yet. Until we get more information. Save the pennies. I'm going to start setting up stock alerts for PS5s, see what comes in. And then when I can actually get one, I'm going to I'm buying one.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm not in a massive rush to get one anymore.
I'm not, but I just want to...
Me and my other half are going to go and get an Xbox. Definitely.
Facebook Marketplace.
And I never ever thought that I'd do that, if I'm honest.
Game Pass Ultimate. Ooh.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. How can anyone look at that and go, PlayStation is still better? Because there's no way you can compare what they have done. And I get it. The amount of my friends who keep saying to me, look, Microsoft are a multi-million fucking business and bullshit. I don't care about that. But at the end of the day, Sony have been around for a very long time equally. They have, shares in God knows what, televisions, they do this, they do that, they do a multitude of different things. They are also a multi-million company. They just have a side sort of project, if you like, which is within the gaming industry, which has taken off, exceptionally well. So they're well respected. So with that well respect, and they are making, they're not making losses. That's for sure. We know this. They can't be. The growth on the market, PlayStation 5 at the moment is the most well-received console, I think, of this year, I do believe.
It's one of the fastest selling, yeah.
Yes. So with that in mind, they have made a profit. They've got to have done. And they know this, but they're not really, I don't feel they're putting their money where it needs to be. Well, they keep saying they're for the gamers. I'm sorry. Look, and again, we're coming up to this next part now. I mean, during the event, my favourite game, Uncharted, was obviously...
Nailed it. It's like you're looking at my screen, Dawn. Get out. Leave my PC alone. Yes, Uncharted.
Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, which is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. And I'm so happy for PC gamers right now because, trust me, if you haven't played it, you don't know what you're missing. For many people, a lot of folks say, it's an interactive movie. I get sick of that. I'm sorry.
It's really not.
It's really more than that. Yes. Does it feel like you're part of some big Indiana Jones type movie? Yes, it does.
Yeah, you do.
And you resonate with it so much. The storylines, the oh my god, the amount of work that goes into the history as well. It's so well put together, and the hypotheticals are fascinating.
If you enjoyed Tomb Raider, then this is going to blow your goddamn mind.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely brilliant. It's well executed. It's brilliant.
Nathan Drake is the modern day Indiana Jones.
Of course he is.
Yep.
And the comic wit he has as well comes across with is just
the
brilliant.
one-liners. Sully is like one of my favourite icons of gaming. I'm sorry, I think Sully's incredible.
It's one thing to be said that we're really lucky to live in the time we do for gaming, because I've had all the PlayStations. Ali's had all the PlayStations. Dawn,
Me too.
Oh yes.
We've all been there. We've gone through the generations. We hit PlayStation 3, and the first time I put Uncharted in, and I was like, this is going to be something different. And I was sat there and I was enthralled. I don't remember how old I was.
The weird thing is, as well, playing it still on the PlayStation 3, which, by the way, I do every so often, because I've got I've got Uncharted on the PlayStation 3 as well. Got all of them. When I play it on there, still to this day, the graphics to me aren't terrible. It holds up so well.
And I had the collection, the Uncharted collection on. They didn't call it Legacy of Thieves but it was the original 3 games, the first 3 games on PS4.
Yeah.
And they did a minor upgrade, frame rate upgrade, and all that sort of thing, but they didn't change very much, and I liked that. I was like, oh, this brings back memories. I just remember it used to look like this, and then you go through the games and you hit Uncharted 4 and you go, fuck, it's come a long way.
I think it's Among Thieves, Drake's Fortune, which is the first two. And then number 3 was the one that was set in the desert. Oh, what was that called?
So you've got... hang on, we can find out. I have the technology. We have the technology.
Got the power.
Do you know what? It's been so long.
Oh, Drake's Deception.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's called. So you had...
Drake's Fortune,
which
Among
I think is the
Thieves,
first one.
Drake's
Among
Deception.
Thieves is the second, I think. And then Drake's Deception.
We had...
And then you have The Lost Treasure, I do believe.
No, there was Golden...
No, that was...
There was Golden Abyss, which was on Vita.
That's right.
Then we had the Fight for Fortune, which I think was it was a card game. It was a spin-off thing. I think it was mobile, possibly.
Yeah, I don't really count those because it's like most people don't even fucking know what they are.
We had A Thieves' End,
Yep.
Uncharted
Which
4.
was number 4.
Fortune Hunter, which I did play a small amount of, wasn't terrible. The Lost Legacy, which was... What was that? Oh yeah, that was the standalone.
That was a standalone with the female characters.
With the females, yeah.
Chloe.
I've not played that.
It's very good.
Oh my
I'm still
God,
partway
I
through it.
suggest you play it because it fills in some of the missing blanks
Yep.
from number 4.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, it's
So when certain
worth it.
characters sort of disappear and what have you, that's what they were up to with that person in the background, kind of thing. It's pretty cool. What I was really hoping for, especially on the PlayStation 5, was that they were going to continue on with Chloe's story, or you know, kind of push down that avenue with those women because they make really good protagonists.
Yeah, there is talk that will become the next sort of Uncharted story, but nobody knows, and I don't even think Naughty Dog is really. They're keeping it very tight.
Well, I wish they bloody would, because do you know what? It is far better than that crappy, woke piece of rubbish that they released, The Last of Us 2. I'm sorry. I've said it. It was shocking.
I haven't played
Has anybody got a bucket?
I'm sorry. That they lost me on that completely. It's shambolic. Shambolic.
I still need to pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up at some point. I need to.
You come to gaming for gaming reasons, to escape the world that we're in right now. And the world we're in right now is already a sodden mess, you know, and it's full of people sort of being fascist, telling people what to do, dictating how we should do things, where we should be, who we should talk to, blah, 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 what we should celebrate. You know, I'm sorry, but as a human being, I don't want that shite to link into my games, if I'm honest. I'd rather just sort of enjoy what's in front of me. I loved Last of Us 1 because it was unapologetic and it was real, and it was just, there was something beautiful about number 1. It really reconnected you with yourself and with humanity and with animals and
brilliant.
the lust for it is, it's beautifully done. Number 1 is fucking one of the best games out there. It's in my top 10 by all means. It's freaking amazing. Okay, but number 2, just why? There's so many whys all over it that I just I just no. Why just put the game down, okay? There are better games out there that you have that you could actually work off the back of, and Uncharted is most definitely one of those. I feel like that has been put on the back burner, and I think they need to focus on it now, because honestly, I actually want more, regardless of what people might think. There's not many games that I'll go, I want another one.
Oh, yeah,
I actually truly do want another Uncharted.
Ooh,
because
yes.
it leaves you wanting more at the end all the time.
Gimme.
It's so good. It's like watching one of your favourite movies and just go, oh God, I can't wait for the next one. You know, it really is that good. It really, really is. And I think that's mostly down to the hard work and effort that's been put into it. The voiceover acting is absolutely second to none. It's just brilliantly done, brilliantly executed. It's just fantastic. And I really hope now that they push on with that. They need to do something. Because it's just a fantastic franchise.
On top of fantastic franchises, there's this new game here that I've just seen a little bit of, okay, and could turn into something really cool.
What's that?
So, I'm going to murder this, or I'm going to do really well in the pronunciation. Okay, so we've got Tachai Chai? I have no idea.
Toshia?
It's I think it's like Japanese. Either way, I believe from what I'm reading here, this is done by the same people that did, or the same studio. It is Studio Ghibli.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and I've seen some really interesting gameplay, which could make for a good series of games. And it's a really cool-looking new IP. So this is very, very stylized, cartoony, and I have no idea what is going on in this game at all. From what I can tell, you play this young girl who seemingly has the ability to change her physical form and take on an animal's role, so she can sort of like put her consciousness into an animal, like a bird, fly around and then jump out of the bird and go into something that's on the ground, or a fish, or so. It's really weird.
It looked quite pretty,
Yeah.
and it's, again, when my fiance sat watching it with me, he says, it's one of them games that you kind of, when you're in a floaty mood on a Sunday afternoon, you've got nothing else to do, you'd put that on and you'd be like, wee, whoa,
But this could turn into a really cool franchise game.
and then it kind of like, you get bored of it after about half an hour or so.
We shall see. I mean, it's not coming to PS4 as far as I'm aware. Oh no, it is coming to PS4.
I was going to say, so
and
it should. The
PS5.
graphics were quite basic. It wasn't anything special.
It shouldn't hurt a PS4, but it's that new
looks
gameplay.
Pretty and whimsical, and I'm sure there'll be some kids out there that will most definitely love it.
Oh, it's definitely designed for kids.
It's definitely a child type thing, but it is whimsical, but it's just, yeah, I think for adults, I think give it half an hour, it'd soon sort of become a little bit tiresome.
Well, depending on if it's a decently made game and it's fairly priced, I might just pick a copy up.
It looks sweet.
It
does
does
look
look
sweet.
good. But
It looks sweet.
obviously, we're not going to talk about Deathloop, but that's the thing they announced. We're going to leave that alone.
Yeah, because they spoke about that like 20 times last year. Like, nobody knows anything about Deathloop already.
So there's a highly anticipated shooter, open world shooter, coming to PS5, Blood Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing of this. I believe, I assume it's a PC game, or was a PC game, with vampires. I'm going to quick squiz over this.
It
Free
actually
to play.
looks
Oh, it's a battle
really
royale.
good.
Okay, so it's set in the Vampire the Masquerade. Okay.
Okay.
So
Is that one that had very similar kind of hints? It kind of reminded me of Assassin's Creed in some areas.
So, no. Yeah, I'm assuming because you can play vampires, werewolves, or whatever the fuck you want to play. That's in the Vampire the Masquerade world. Now, if you've got time and you are of the age of 18 or over, search Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's cool. There's a tabletop RPG. Definitely not for the kids. Again, not for the kids.
Put the child down. I mean, put
Put it away.
put the game down.
But this is, if it's a battle royale, I'm going to avoid it. I don't care that it's set in the Vampire the Masquerade universe. I'm going to avoid it at all costs.
Battle Royale games at the moment.
Well, battle royale sucks. I hate it.
Warzone.
It's an
Fortnite.
easy cash cow.
Oh,
It's
it
a
is.
cash grab.
It is.
That's all it is.
But from what I can see of these screenshots, it's going to be very interesting.
It looked all right. When you put all these battle royale things together, out of all of them, that one actually does look like something I will give a go.
It's going to be free to play. I will try it purely
give it a go.
because if it's, I don't want to get invested. I hate battle royale. It bugs me. I'm definitely just not going to bother play it after I've died like 17 million times to one game. But we shall see where it goes. So coming to PlayStation 5 in 2021. So this year,
Yeah.
I'm assuming it will come to PS4 as well. But at this point, no news. So moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Oh, God.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, everyone's going to hate on this. Ali, what was that? Get out.
The film's brilliant. Not gonna lie, Guardians.
The film is
of the Galaxy
amazing.
1 and 2, fantastic.
It is amazing.
The game looks
But-
I
awesome.
saw the game and I was like, oh god.
If you have a look at the general thoughts and the general views of some of the gameplay footage I think that's been released, nobody's very happy. There's
Well,
not a very
It's just
not a very happy
You
fans.
can't please everybody. God fucking damn it.
I gotta. I'm sorry. It looks really crummy. And the actual video that I saw, it was shit.
There was
The
some.
graphics look clunky. The overall voice acting is absolutely tragic.
Thank you.
It's cheesy. It's blocky. Even the humor, it's like really, that's so bad. It's just leave it alone.
I don't
do it.
Maybe I'm just simple, but I'll suck it
if
up
they
and-
had the money to afford the likes of Chris Pratt and everything else for the voices, that would have kind of okay, that's not too bad. But yeah,
Well, they can't because Disney.
Hollywood actors have lots of money.
Disney.
I'm sorry, but with the franchise name behind that, why isn't there money invested in this? There should have been.
Well,
It's crazy.
I'd assume there is. The thing is obviously where
Where
Disney
was it
owns it.
spent? Where was it spent? The
Probably on
game's
the
all I
license
can make
to
out.
use the
But
names.
even
Yay!
they couldn't even get the video footage right. I mean, it was the cinematics were freaking terrible. They were awful.
I just think that the money went into getting the name because Disney own everything. At this
Disney
point,
Mouse
Disney
owns
just
the house.
Disney, leave our stuff alone. Keep our hell out of gaming. Keep the hell out of our movies, and stop whitewashing everything and everything else that you want to do. Oh God, I'm sick of Disney, man. They buy everything out, they suck it off, and then they chuck it back out.
Yeah, it's just fucking it's crap. I mean,
How many children can we sell this to? It's like selling crack cocaine to children. No, how much money can we make? Yes, we don't care about what people think. We're millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. Keep it spewing out. Oh God, just please, Disney, just stop. Stop being Disney. Stop being Disney. Stick to your little fairy tale princess and castles, yeah? Just don't touch anything else anymore because you're fucking shit up.
Well, we've got something Disney hasn't touched. They've not molested it.
But they even tried to fuck up Kingdom Hearts.
Well, they did, didn't they? Let's be honest.
Well, it didn't. It did in the end, yeah.
But we've got a game called Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, I know nothing of this because I didn't watch any of this, and I am literally going off the PlayStation blog. So,
What's this?
something about supernatural waves of stuff.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
So I'm gonna watch the trailer and probably report back next week on my thoughts on this one. But looking at it, I don't know. I mean,
Alan was a bit like you. To begin with, he was like, "This is really good," but I'm sorry, Dawn, this has been done before.
Yeah, I need to watch the trailer
Really?
and
Yeah, there are games that are very similar. Yeah,
it kind of looks very horror, weirdly horror.
kind of is.
But do you know what? I'm gonna watch the trailer and report back on what I feel on that one and let you.
Kind of reminded me of a city version of that. Oh God, what's that ghost game called where you go around with your camera and it's a Japanese game, obviously.
Oh, there's
Oh,
loads of
really?
games like that.
And you take photos of ghosts. The only way you can see them is through the camera.
Let me kill.
Oh
It's on
God!
tip me tongue.
Oh, yes, my wife like that.
Oh God!
she's
I
always
can't
wanted me
remember
to-
what it's called. It's really
to-
getting on my nerves.
It is late.
It'll come to me.
It will come to us later.
Right. What is the name? You'll know this, Ali, surely being a science man. What is the name of the camera that takes, or they believe take photos of spirits?
Oh crikey! I mean,
That's the name of the game, I believe.
It's based on the same thing. Yeah, I mean, there was a thing on R.C. Clarke's Mysterious World where there would be a gentleman. He was in a church in Cambridge. And there was only him in the church, and he was a photographer. But he didn't do photography like Kieran does with digital. He had the old school plates. But what he did an instant exposure of a plate. He was photographing the altar.
Sorry, Ali. I think it's either
Yeah.
Fatal Frame or
Yes.
yeah, there you go. Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame.
No,
one.
another one.
Another one.
Mm.
Another one.
I had it on my PlayStation, and I can't. God damn it! Oh,
You're
it's going
thinking of
through
a
my head
psychic camera, Dawn, as well. A spectral camera.
Oh. Well, that's what you had, like a spectral camera, but you could only see the spirits and
Yeah.
take photos of them to kill them.
Yep.
It was very, very frustrating.
Oh.
I'm being told off now because there was another game called Clock Tower that I stopped playing before we got any of the spooky stuff.
Tower. My God, it's a blast from the past.
But anyway, yeah, there are similar kinds of games that are a bit like that, where you've got the whole spectral ghost.
There's
Tokyo,
loads
Japanese
of
stuff. So I don't know. I mean, Alan sort of went, it looks good at first, and then after he watched it a little bit more, he was kind of like, yeah.
Well, I hate this game, next game, that I don't really care to talk about.
What is it? What is it? I'm intrigued.
At this point, you could run it on a toaster. It's definitely not Grand Theft Auto 5. Congratulations, you're getting it on PS5. It's coming March next year. That's all there is to talk about that. Good luck, guys.
Oh, hey,
God damn.
Talk about literally bleeding a cow to death. Like, what the hell? How can you milk a cow much more?
Well,
I mean, literally, they are.
Rockstar, your cow's getting a bit thin. You better give it some grass to put some more milk in the teats.
Yeah, this is bad, really. I don't.
But it's getting 4K visuals and a new map, and it's going to revive the online community. And you're going to get 1 million freaking GTA bucks. Nobody gives a fuck.
They've already got an online community, and if I'm honest with you, most of them are completely negative, and they're just bullies and loudmouthed little kids. That's what GTA Screechers. Yeah, that's what it's known for.
Because GTA actually isn't played by a majority of adults. It's actually played by the majority of kids. Because
legally aren't allowed to play it.
Technically, legally aren't allowed to play it. But their mum and dad are like, oh yeah, you can't go around killing people or finding prostitutes and picking them up and doing sexual acts in a car. No, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Later in life,
I'll admit, I mean, I play it from time to time because we get together with a group of us and we have a fucking laugh. It really is, especially when you just go in there and we sort of form our own kind of server, which I'm not sure if you're allowed to do or not. But yeah, we have our own little server going, and we thoroughly enjoy ourselves, blow a few things up, have a right laugh, write a few cars off. That's about it, really. But for the most part, I can understand the addiction to it, and I can understand how easy it is to get, especially when it comes to cars, because they're very focused on cars now in this game.
Yeah, they've turned everything
race
to...
pack.
The race pack, yeah, and that's actually been fun. I've enjoyed that part of it, if I'm honest. Especially the garage, the new auto garage where you can go in and do cars up for people and transport them. I love that. That element of it is great fun. But this has been spun to death, and it gets to a point where sometimes you just have to let things sort of like die of natural causes.
Well, it's never going to die. It's never going away.
I don't think it will, because the community will always keep it up.
I don't care to ever talk about GTA ever again. And if anybody ever asks me if I'm playing GTA 5, I'm a bitch slap the shit out of them.
Could be worse.
Yeah,
Could be Skyrim?
Here it is. Hey, we're out fishing, and we're calling it the anniversary.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
People love to fish in our RPGs.
Don't even get me started. Anyway, moving on to something I actually didn't think they were ever going to remaster. And I played the sort of follow-up or the game beforehand, which was... I can't remember what it was.
Oh, this is one that Alan was looking forward to, yeah.
Alan Wake, coming to PS4 and PS5.
Really?
They are remastering Alan Wake.
Wow.
So all of the original DLCs, including the 2 expansions, the Signal and the Writer, all new 4K visuals, I'm assuming mostly updated for PS5 running native, and we will on PS4 Pro run interlaced 4K, environments, cutscenes, and brand new making of commentary. I was hype. I saw the original picture they did, which was like a silhouette with a torch and a gun, I think it was, which was like the original poster, and I was like, "That's Alan Wake. You're fucking joking." What was the game before it or after it, story-wise?
Crikey.
I played it on PS2. Alan Wake. It was an Alan Wake game. I'm sure of it. Shit, what was it?
It's not. There's nothing to do with Silent Hill, is it?
No, it's not Silent Hill. It's Black something. It was in the universe. I'm sure it was in the universe of Alan Wake.
Oh my god.
You've got, what was it? It's gonna
Try and
bug
rack
me.
my brain.
I had it on
Ask
PS2,
Google.
and I remembered that it was.
I mean, I can't comment on it because I really haven't played it, so I wouldn't know. I know Alan has, and he was like, oh, brilliant,
Oh, apparently Control is part of Alan Wake. Fuck right off. Nobody gives a shit.
Control.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, Control, yeah.
Control
I didn't
was
like the
terrible.
look of it either.
Absolutely awful. I will find what the game is called later,
Yes.
and I will let people know because I played it to death and loved it, and I'm sure it was in the same universe as Alan Wake. So I'll worry about that later. Anyway, I'm ready for this game. It's going to be cool to revisit it in with all new visuals and stuff. So ready for that. Anyway,
Sparkly new visuals. Banging.
we have spoken about this game actually on the podcast. They've just released another trailer, and we were giving this pretty high rates for what we thought were going to be a good game. We're talking about Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, the zombie shooter, because
Oh,
everyone
yes.
needs more zombies or
Tom
aliens.
Clancy.
It's going to be good. They released a new trailer. I guess they're showing you actual proper gameplay from what I can tell here. And a really big zombie. That's not a zombie, that's Titanic. Oh, okay, that's going to be interesting. So yeah, they're getting some really cool features they've showed off. New tech so you can see through walls. Very Red Faction there. Coming in 2022 apparently.
That'll be good.
For that, so PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 cross-platform.
Nice.
So that's going to be interesting to see that come. Now, Dawn did mention this game, and I'm yet to watch the trailer. I did see a little bit and was like,
It's a game called Forspoken.
yes.
It's by Square Enix, I do believe.
It's going to be good then.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could see straight away the quality's there. It's quite fast-paced by the looks of it, from what I could make out. Her name is Frey. She's obviously a lady, although you never know these days. We're in 2021, so who
Yeah,
knows?
2021. Don't assume. Oh my fucking god! Did you just assume her gender?
Oh my god, I'm offended.
I am
I
offended.
do what I want. But yeah, yeah, it looked really, really cool. I mean, there's a lot of detailing in there. It looked pretty. It looked fast-paced. It looks kind of whimsical as well. But there's like element of action in there.
It's very.
It looks like she kind of
action-heavy.
like shoots bullets from her hands as well. So she obviously does a lot of magic, a lot of gravity-based magic.
I think
looks
it's mostly a
pretty cool.
magic game.
It looks really cool.
There doesn't appear to be like a weapon in sight from
No.
these screenshots, and obviously the preliminary stuff that they've announced, because it is not coming until next year
Next spring.
on PlayStation 5. Obviously 2022 is not that they're cutting off support for PS4, but they'll be focusing on the next generation.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I'm kind
See, that
of
was one I wasn't expecting because I haven't actually seen anything about that one before. So that was a new experience. So that was quite nice to see. So that was one item that I knew
and
nothing of.
Ooh,
during
and they've
this
brought
showcase.
some talent on board for this. So they've brought on talented writers for the game. They include, and if you know these people, that's cool, but I will tell you where they're from. Gary Whitta from Rogue One, A Star Wars Story.
Oh, yes, very good film.
Amy Hennig from the Uncharted series.
Yes, I knew.
Alison Reamer and Todd Stashwick. Sorry.
So there you go. You've got a massive collection
You
of
have
people there that have a lot of experience, which will be
two-
phenomenal.
Two
Expect
very big
great
names.
things.
Oh, I really hope so. It looked really good. That has got my eye, and I'd be very interested in purchasing that. But that for me was the first game to me that I went, ooh,
But
and I
Square
hadn't heard of that one
Enix
before.
always
So that
do
was
this.
nice.
They always do it every
There's
fucking
one.
time. So, but that's Square Enix, and we love Square Enix.
Yeah, we
and,
do.
Oh, yes.
And oh god, did I really click this link? Dawn, why did I click this link? I've got things to say about this.
We already knew this was happening though, and we announced this like the beginning of the year, last year, and actually I think we spoke about it at the end of last year.
We
too.
did, yeah, we did. Go on. I have words to say about this.
Yeah. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands gameplay trailer, which was shown, which is obviously effectively DLC from Borderlands.
So, if you were like me and Ali, we're quite big on our shooters, or we were.
It does look quite good fun. I've got to be honest. I don't like shoot 'em ups. Got to be honest. Not really a big fan. I don't mind playing Borderlands with 2 players, split screens, bit of a laugh. But,
if did you play the first one or the second one or both of those?
I played the second one. I played a bit of the first one, but I wasn't overly shot. And then I played the second one and I liked it.
Right. Okay. This is where I get fucking shitty. Okay. Gearbox and 2K. Listen. I loved you. You were great. The first 2 Borderlands games, phenomenal, okay?
Yep.
Then you did some really, really fucking amazing DLC for Borderlands 2. And I mean, I spent hours in those DLCs, okay?
Same here.
And one of those was a Tiny Tina DLC. And it was exactly the same as this. Do you know what fucks me off? This fucks me off because people are paying 60 quid for your game. They are paying, I don't know, maybe £25 to £35 for this DLC, or whatever you decide to throw it at people's games for. And it's a rehashed DLC from Borderlands 2. Now, I get it, okay? I understand that Tiny Tina, she loves her fucking D&D. It's literally part of her character trait. She loves it. But do something fucking different. Seriously.
Indeed, rehashing the same stuff.
It's rehashed.
Don't do that.
Well, apparently they're doing it because the fans wanted it. They had so many people asking for this to happen, and they've made it happen. Apparently, that's what they said in last year's or this year's. Showcase.
No. I don't care. It's just
popular.
rehashed to shit. And I know there was a story behind the original DLC, and that you want to continue the story. But why? I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it.
It looks quirky. It looks a bit of fun. Again, I think it's going to be one of them things that if I was to touch it, I'd get bored of it within an hour. I'd be like, yeah, that's fun. Unicorns, musical notes, whatever.
If you play the Borderlands 2 D&D DLC, and you'll understand when you watch the trailer for this one why I hate this trailer and what they're doing so fucking much. I am never, ever buying a Borderlands game ever again. Ever. I don't care. If this is what they're going to do with the franchise, that's it.
Borderlands 2 Remastered.
Ooh, now... I'm a little bit half-mast there, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
What does that say, though? What does that say to you when you know that you're prepared to buy a game that you've already got with just a bit of remastering? Let's put it that way. I mean, remastering, let's face it, is just a clearer picture, essentially.
Bells and whistles.
Okay. We do get a little bit of bells and whistles and cleaner picture and blah, blah, blah. But that's because that game was so fucking good. Whereas
it was.
Borderlands 3...
What does that say about the games that are out there? And people are buying more remasters than they are actually really being bothered by new releases. That kind of says a lot to me right now. That's,
It's crazy. I don't condone remasters. There are some remasters. Throughout the last couple of years, we've had Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. These games, they deserved a remaster because they were on PS1. I don't think they ever went to PS2. They were PlayStation 1 games, and I remember those from my childhood, as much everyone else will remember them. And they deserved it, but a lot of current remasters don't necessarily need it.
No.
There are some games I'll go, do you know what? Yeah, remaster it, and I'll play it. Because
remaster so far? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Still haven't played it. I hate being so poor. Right, I'm closing that because it pisses me off to look at it.
Well, the next one was the one that I've brought up with you that I feel that you'd actually like the look of. Project Eve. It looks pretty damn good, I've got to be honest. The only thing I will say that kind of puts me off it, though, is it does look a bit clunky. The action looks a bit slow.
Well,
but then that might be me. I don't know. I'm not very keen on... I like my games quite fast-paced. Things like Devil May Cry.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I like the whole... great.
This looks like Bayonetta. Oh!
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. What a game. Oh.
Great game.
Project Eve, though, I have to say, it looked good. It looks incredibly beautiful as well.
Yeah, I had to verify my age for this small like video clip they've got up on the website. It's literally like 7 seconds long, and it's showing like a small battle against like an alien thing. And Dawn, damn it, motherfucker, I hate you.
I need like it.
I need that. I need that a lot.
See, that was it for me. For Spoken and Project Eve were the only two that I went, ooh, that was it. Those are the moments where I was like, I'd never heard of that one before, and I've never heard of this one either. And they're the two that I really like the look of, and I don't think those are exclusives.
Well, it's going to PlayStation 5 initially, I think. So it will probably go to a bunch of other formats eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
And this has given us some really like Japanese vibes here, like big,
it's awesome.
fucking Japanese vibes.
That's why I said to you, it reminded me of Code Vein in so many ways. It was like, because I mean, even Code Vein is quite clunky, really.
I'm getting more Bayonetta vibes than I am Code Vein.
Yeah.
Because it's got that act that the from what I can see of the fighting, it's very not tactical, but it looks very fast paced, and you having to dodge and move around the arena as you fight.
Very stylized combat.
It's stylized combat. Yeah, that's what I mean by clunky though. It's sort of like step away.
Well, I see. I mean, did you ever play Bayonetta?
I have actually, yeah.
See, I never found it clunky, but then again, I got to a point where I became quite good at it. So apparently Project Eve is actually going to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC and PS5.
Groovy, well I'll be getting that.
So I will be definitely picking that up because spicy memes.
It looks damn good.
Oof.
Good to see new IPs coming through as well. People not going, hey, let's just mash out another Call of Duty, let's mash out. People are sort of like taking the risk and going, let's do something new that's not been done.
I've never heard of the developer and publisher Shift Up Corporation. Never heard of them.
No, never heard of them either.
They're Chinese, I guess. Chinese, Japanese.
Possibly.
It looks very stylized. Don't Google.
Oh, it's very pretty.
God.
It's very, very pretty.
It
looks so good. Yeah, that's what I mean. That one for me sold it. That sold it for me. And obviously Frey for Spoken's.
So I think
for Spoken looked beautiful.
Out of those two, I think I'm most ready for those spicy memes.
They're the only two, but that's terrible. You know, we've been waiting for this event, and that's all they could come up with. I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed.
Admittedly, the showcase is all about the games anyway. It's never going to be about the hardware. The hardware is about it's if you can get hold of one, they're there.
It's in the wild.
It's in the wild. There's nothing really to go off of as far as that's concerned. So, you know,
kind of makes advertising their games pointless at this stage because there's nothing to freaking play them on.
It does. But at least they're saying they're coming to PS4 as well. So they can make some money somewhere, which is good. We like that. We like that a lot. Sony, I know you're winding up for something big.
Well, you keep telling yourself that, but I don't feel like there are.
God damn it, Dawn! You had one job.
I'm being honest here. I don't think they are. I honestly do not. I really do not think. If you watch, I mean, obviously you've just seen little clips there, right? I watched the whole thing. Yeah. If you listen to how patronising those people are, and the CEO, right, himself and his speech and how he kind of like they're listening to the fans and to what the people need and the typical menagerie of bullshit that they feed you with because they're convinced they believe they're doing it right. No, you're not. Okay, just stop with the bullshit. Stop reading off cue cards. Start listening to your fans and actually look at the situation for what it is, because right now, I'm sorry, I'm putting my hands up here, and I am a massive PlayStation fangirl. I've played PlayStation since the first one. I adore it. Will I ever not buy the PlayStation 5? Of course not. Of course I'll buy it because I love PlayStation. I love gaming. But at this moment in time, as I've already stated, we'll be buying an Xbox before we buy a PlayStation 5 because obviously for myself
you
in
can get an
particular,
Xbox
we play a lot of Bethesda games. And they've taken Bethesda with them. So for people like us, you know, that's where we're going to end up because they've got one of the biggest RPG franchises in the world.
Well,
Skyrim's
I'm not even sure.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Elder Scrolls 6. We're desperate for it. We've been waiting for this for a long, long time.
I'm not even sure I'm going to support Bethesda from now. I know I've got an Xbox. You know,
I get what you're saying. 'Cause I felt the same. I was really angry with them because they betrayed the fans, then left them behind. You know, it's really shit. We've propped them up for years as well. We've poured money into their system too. You know,
but it's not just that. It's I've got to a point now where everything, and this comes from Fallout 76, which we just dubbed 76.
Yeah. Interesting game.
Let me clear one thing up. I don't hate 76. Okay, I don't hate it. I don't appreciate.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
What they're doing with it right now is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And with everything that's going on in the world, they're releasing features. They've just released or are releasing in the next week or so. I think it might already be out. A thing where you can customize Appalachia.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. You know, a couple of mates of mine over in my FLGS were talking about it. They're like really hyped. They're like, oh yeah, it's going to be really cool to take Appalachia and turn it into a city we want to make it into. We can just literally build for days. And that's cool. I like that. But then they were like...
It's just the loot box element I hate about that kind of crap.
Well, there is no loot
I hate
box.
the whole...
Luckily.
Do you know what I mean? Like like they have a lot of these boxes and stuff you can buy with stuff in and this, that, and the other.
Well, a lot of it is now not.
Bethesda are known for that. They do it in the SO as well.
Yeah,
it's
mainly for their MMOs and the games where they can get away with it. Fallout, it doesn't work in. But they've just for this make Appalachia your own. They've locked it behind Fallout First, which is their subscription service.
Yeah.
And if you don't subscribe to Fallout First, which is $11.99 a month,
which is a lot of money.
It's quite a lot of money. Or if you buy it for the year, you get it for like £50. Well, cool. I don't want it for a year. Piss off. If you don't buy First, you can't play on your own private world on your own to build Appalachia. If you join somebody else's world that has Fallout First, so if I joined a mate of mine and he had Fallout First, I could probably play and build Appalachia, help him build Appalachia. But I couldn't carry that progress onto my own save. None of it.
Damn.
So
it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I will probably end up with Fallout First again, just so I can have fun and build in 76 the way I want to build 76. But they are making it seem like this feature is now like the end of the game, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree with what Bethesda are doing, and honestly, I've been playing Outer Worlds on Xbox One. It's fucking great, and this comes from a company that was working for Bethesda.
Yeah, they did. They went their separate ways, didn't they?
They went their separate ways. And if I'm going to support
created something better.
Well, they took the formula of Fallout and went, here we go.
Done.
This is how it's done, guys. Oh, we got. So. And
what gets me, have you seen their adverts and stuff? Whenever they do showcases, they're like really tongue in cheek, and they even take the piss out of themselves. It's just so funny.
Well, that's what gaming should be. Like gaming should be all about having a laugh, enjoying it. They're gamers. They get it. It's but. I'm not going to support Bethesda anymore. I'm sorry, but Bethesda are dead to me, and that hurts because I was hyped. I've played many a Fallout game over the years, and it's not because Microsoft have bought them out. It's just because
I find it hard to let them go. I mean, obviously for me, Bethesda is more personal to me because obviously I met my fiance and I've had my baby as a result of ESO.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, what I have now would not exist.
No.
You know, it's very hard for me to completely eradicate it from my life. And Bethesda, I'm really angry with, just like you. And I do feel like they've completely and utterly abandoned their fans. They've not given a shit. It's like saying to everybody that has been looking and playing on their games and paying their subscriptions via Sony, and they've just stuck up the middle finger and gone, well, fuck you lot. You know, we don't give a shit about you.
No.
And that to me is an absolute disgrace. They should be ashamed of themselves. I get it from a corporate perspective and from a business perspective. They went where the money was. But equally, we've been piling in money into them as well. They need to fucking remember that. And if it wasn't for the people that have been piling the money into them ever since the beginning of time, and where they come into fruition, then they need to remember that they wouldn't be here.
No.
So, again, they're getting salty with their original fans and just sort of shitting on them, really. And I don't like that. The attitude they've got now, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's
But
taking
then
the
there's
piss.
not much of the original team left there anymore. It's a bit like Blizzard, for example. There's no one there that really was original. And good old Tom can say whatever he likes whenever he comes on, gives that fake ass smile. He can do what he wants, but he's full of shit. I'm sorry.
It just works.
Full of shit. The things he comes out with, it's just absolute toss, and he always gets it wrong. He always looks a mug at the end of it. I'm sorry, mate. You fucked up, and you have screwed over a lot of people. And I used to love ESO. I still pay my subscription to this day, even though I barely play it, because I never know when I feel like I might want to, which actually I have been thinking about having a bit of a tinker on it recently. But
you know, if that's some things like ESO, it's not forever.
no,
It's never gonna be forever.
No.
They're leaning far too heavily on it, which they need to stop now. ESO, I think they need to let it go. It's not gonna last anyway.
what they need to do, I don't think they should let go. Me and my partner said the same thing for a long time now. What they need to do is let go of this ESO. Yes, they're doing ESO 6, but it's time that they overhauled. And I mean from the ground up. They need to completely restructure. They need to completely rebuild and make a new Elder Scrolls Online that's more updated graphically, that runs better with better servers. I don't know, just try and be a little bit more creative. I think what they've done with Elder Scrolls up till now, I understand graphically it was challenging. It is an online game, I get that too. But they're still lagging behind ever so slightly, I feel. Like you go to Final Fantasy 14, for example. Yes, we know the graphics aren't absolutely
Oh no, but it's styled in such a way that
it's
a styled game.
And it's still pretty, and it's so well done. And I'm not saying that the Elder Scrolls isn't pretty, because there's some areas where you'll walk into and you'll just look and go, oh my god, that's fucking beautiful. And it was. When I first played Elder Scrolls Online, I was absolutely mind blown by how pretty the areas were. Looking at it now, I'm like, yeah, god, it's dated now. It kind of needs upgrading, which they never do. They just keep adding more shit onto it. And it's more rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And their DLCs are getting more and more expensive. I don't know why, because it's only about 2 hours worth of gameplay, 3 hours, if that. You get through the main story, and then you can do all the side quests. Yeah, I mean, if you're like me, whenever I used to get a DLC from them, the longest DLC I think that I had from them was Somerset, which was released back in 2000 and
I would say 16, maybe.
2017, I think.
Was it really?
2017.
Jesus.
Yeah, because it was released after my ex buggered off. Good job too. Me being me, going through a bit of a midlife crisis. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go and buy this because I can now. And I went and bought the DLC, and I spent about, I think, 80 quid on the box set, the collector's edition.
Whew.
Yeah, I was really excited. I was like, yeah, boy, I could finally buy that thing that I was never allowed to before. I could, kind of enjoy my gaming again.
That's it.
So I bought that, and then I think, God, I got so many hours out of Somerset, and it was the best DLC they'd done, in my opinion. Beautiful, fucking beautiful. And all the things they've added to it along the way has been so good. And then they released this other stuff, this Skyrim add-on, Greymore, I think it was. Greymore was, again, really pretty. Nicely done, obviously, because it takes people back to Skyrim and obviously getting all nostalgic and stuff like that. And that's fantastic. But, there's not much to it. The storyline is short. I completed that in less than 2.5, 3 hours. So I sat in one sitting and I just burned through it. And And yes, okay, they give a lot of materials away, which is really, really unusual for them, if I'm honest. You know, you've got a throne and this and a head thing and so many different, you know, dress up pieces and what have you. That was incredible. And then this new one, Blackmore, my God, it's like 50 quid. And again, I'm thinking, from what I've been told, you're lucky if you go through the main story of Blackmore or what have you and get through it within 2.5, 3 hours again. And I'm thinking 50 quid.
Robbery.
It is robbery. I'm sorry, and it's
they've got
not
progressively more expensive though, haven't they? Because the first initial couple of DLCs were like 15 quid or something, 15,
but
20
you've got
quid.
to think that's on top of £10 a month sub. I'm sorry, they're taking the piss. I wouldn't mind if it was £19.99, 20 quid. Maybe I could just about accept that. But anything more than that to me for a DLC just pisses me off. There's no need for it at all. And they can't keep saying it's because they're running overall costs and bullshit. I'm sorry, you're getting £10 a month off each one of your subscribers. Most of those subscribers are absolutely ridiculously into the game to the point where they're paying for in-game parts, mechanics, and friggin' mounts and pets and whatever else is going on. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Then you've got loot boxes, which they do have, which is, again, disgraceful, because I can tell you now, from my own personal experience, I've bought so many of those loot boxes throughout the years. And only about 2 months ago, when I thought, fuck it, I'll use the crowns that I've raised that I haven't used at all to buy 15 loot boxes, because there's nothing else that I wanted to get, because I've got everything. And for the first time ever, I got an Apex mount, which I've never, ever got in all the time that I have played that game, which is near enough 7 years? Apex. Out of every month I used to buy those loot boxes because there was never anything else to buy. I think I bought myself a couple of houses out of it as well. But yeah, apart from that, I was buying an average of 4 or 5 loot boxes a month.
Oof.
So that just shows you over a space of 6 to 7 years. Yeah, see? And that's the first time I got an Apex mount. That just shows you how disgustingly low these drops are in those loot boxes. They are blatantly ripping people off. I'm sorry, but they are. They can say what they want. I think it's disgusting. And that's just one of the things that started to piss me off about that game. And then there's the laziness, the reskinned mounts, which something, you know, this is why I love Final Fantasy XIV so much more. Because they don't, yes, they've got the reskins. We know this, they've got the horses and the birds, yeah? But we know this. We know this, we expect this, and we don't mind that because they're all pretty in their own way. The mounts in Elder Scrolls are boring. They are boring, and you'll be very lucky if occasionally they'll do something you'll go, oh, I quite like that. Like I love the Dromothra tiger in it. It's beautiful. Why can't they do more of that? But they don't.
Because they're lazy.
They're lazy. They just reskin the same bloody things. The camel, the bear, the guar, the saber-toothed tiger or whatever. And it goes on. And the wolf. That's all they do. All 5 of these mounts, they're reskinned, rehashed every single time they do a DLC. And you think, isn't it time you started getting a little bit more creative? Give your fans something a little bit more special than this. This is boring. A lot
of it comes to where you are in the world as well. I mean, Japanese programmers, they work some work day and night to basically get the job done.
Yeah.
Whereas some British programmers, they'll be like,
feet up with a cup of tea and a pie.
Job done. I'll start. Time to go home. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, builder's cup of tea, pie and mash. I'm good, mate. Yeah, it does come across as being very lazy, and I think. That's why I kind of stepped away from that. Now, Bethesda on the whole, I think, has just become very complacent, like so many companies have, like Rockstar have. Actually, let's be honest, Rockstar are going the same way. They're being complacent because they don't need to do anything. Because people are stupid enough to pay their subscriptions, and they're stupid enough to buy their loot boxes, and they're stupid enough to go out there and continuously play and rehash the same game over and 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 over. Now, okay, I'm saying that because we play Final Fantasy XIV pretty much every single day of the week.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
We don't talk about that, Dawn.
Saying that, okay, I get it from the perspective of someone that loves Final Fantasy XIV, how it's so easy to be encapsulated by something and find it hard to prize yourself away. But I think it's more of an addiction thing as well. I think when you put a lot of money into a game like Elder Scrolls, coming away from it, you're thinking, well, my God, I spent hundreds of pounds on this game over the last couple of years. What a waste that would be if I walked away. And that keeps you there as well. That is also a bit of an ongoing argument you keep having with yourself, and to justify why you keep going back. Whereas Final Fantasy 14, they actually reward you for being there.
Well, it's the thing with MMOs is you either have a good one that's done by a company that actually understands their fan base, or you have a shit one that doesn't give a fuck about who plays it.
No, I have to say, like, I've been playing Genshin Impact again recently, and I'm bloody addicted to that again. It's great.
Another great game. Free one as well.
Free, but yeah. It's unbelievably good.
It's cool,
it's
but
really
I just don't like the gacha system. But it's fine. I stopped playing because I was pretty much being forced to play, and I don't like being forced to play games.
You should try it in your own time. Sit back and give it another go. Because I did the same as you, right? I played it because everybody else was doing it, and I thought I'll give it a go. And then I stepped away from it. It didn't do anything wrong to me. It didn't offend me. It didn't do anything wrong.
No.
So I don't know why I walked away from it. I think it's just because overall I'm busy with children, adulting, and I find it hard to sort of like plug myself into different MMORPGs everywhere, and it gets too much. But I went back to it again. Now, as a lazy afternoon piece, it's unoffensive. It's not very difficult, although I'm coming to a point now where it's actually becoming quite tough. So, because I'm an adventurer rank 19 now, I think, 19 and a half.
Oof.
So I'm coming up to 20 now, and I'm level 40. So I'm getting into those like higher ranking areas now. So it's getting quite tough. And you do have to be a little bit more tactical about which character you're using in which area and what you're going to utilize and how you're going to pay your groups up for dungeons and stuff like that. So, but that's what I like about it. I think it does keep you on your toes at certain points. You do have to be more strategic in your playing, and I think that's pretty cool. And the character creation is pretty, and everything about it's pretty. It's just a pretty game. It's unoffensive. It's whimsical. It's magical. It's all those little things that you like, especially when it comes to sort of like anime type stuff. It's really, really cute. But it's a cuteness overload, I think. Alan plays it. He loves it. My other half, but he found it kind of, it's almost too girly for him. It's too whimsical. He's like, I feel like I need a man character in here now. I can't call that one guy that comes into it a man as such, but there are male characters in there. You just got to hold on to your hats a little bit longer, and you will get something eventually. But apart from that, like you said, it's not terrible. It's not something you can't dislike. So
I played like the original release on the phone, the mobile phone.
Yeah, I had it. I've got it on the phone too.
And then they announced it on console, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a go on console. And then they were like, oh, it's also available on PC. I was like, you sons of fucks. So yeah, it was everywhere.
It's worth, honestly, give it another quiet go. Give it an opportunity, and you'll see what I'm saying. You have to be in the right frame of mind, I think, to do it as well, because it's not like when I'm tired. I tend to play it when I'm a bit like tired or like drained, and I'll go because it's like it's floaty. It's so nice to just dance among the grass and just hit a few bloody blob things, and I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just really, really like I don't know. It's just nice and sort of simple in areas, and it's just nice to pick up little fruits and make some stuff out of that, and then it's just
moving on to tiny things that we can definitely, I can definitely appreciate. And no, get your minds out of the gutter.
You said tiny, not me, mate.
You pervy motherfuckers. God damn, this is why we can't have nice things.
No,
so, as has been alluded several times. Fucking damn it. So, as we've alluded to several times on this podcast, and I've spoken about it in great detail, obviously, like my tiny plastic men and women and creatures, we don't discriminate here. There is more Warhammer because there's never enough Warhammer. Never enough Warhammer. Anyway, we've had some new stuff announced and released in the past sort of week. So today,
nice.
they've announced Sunday preview on the Warhammer community. If you're not keeping up, why not? So we've had, in the last week, we've had a nice big box of stuff. One of which I bought and sold part of. We had the Kill Team Octarius released, which is awesome. And for the first time, I've managed to get my hand on some decent Imperium models.
Nice.
Also known as the Death Corps of Krieg. They look cool. They are literally World War II Germans, which is awesome. But
Nice.
today we have had some more Orky stuff. We've got some Age of Sigmar. So Age of Sigmar is the fantasy side of Warhammer, or one of many. We've had a few new models released. One of them is I have no idea how to describe this, but it's an orc on a vulture. And he's the most cunning of all crew boys. Gobsprack,
Like an average person in Aberystwyth.
Any day is a common day in Aberystwyth.
Seriously, like.
So yeah, he's on his Corpse Ripper Vulture Killer Beak, which is how it's written and how I am murdering it. It's looking like a really nice mini. One day we will have video footage of what I'm showing you. We also have some more Orky stuff here. We've got Swamp Boss Scumdrick, who's God knows what he's fucking stood on. Some gnarly swamp creature. That's what they write.
Nice.
Yeah, they look very very cool. I'm not a very big Orky person. I'm not going to admit. I sold my Orc half of the Octarius box because I didn't want them. So I made some money off of the box. The box was very expensive. We don't talk about it. We've also got a Marsh Crawler Slogoth with what I assume is a bunch of squigs on the top. That's not squigs. It's they're grots. Tiny little orcs. And it's a very cool looking model. And we've got some Gut Rippers, which is a squad of big orky dudes with axes and swords and stuff that shanks. They're looking
Stabby
awesome.
And pointy.
Stabby and pointy, sticking with the pointy end. They've also got some really gnarly looking shields. And we've also this goes on. We've got scenery. I love scenery. Scenery is my favourite thing in the world because it's really easy to paint. And it's being found in the Age of Sigmar's Extremis starter set, which is available to pre-order next weekend. So I'm definitely probably not going to pick that up as a pre-order, but it does look sweet, so I may grab it later. The AOS stuff is generally not something I tend to buy because it's more fantasy. I've got fantasy stuff, obviously, but I tend to play Ghosty Boys. The new app, Age of Sigmar, the app, they teased this ages ago. And they are bringing it as a beta, apparently this weekend, or next week. Hang on, I will read it. Stuff is happening. Keep an eye out, it goes live. Next week. It goes live next week. So yeah, that's coming to your phone with all new rules and stuff and data sheets for your Age of Sigmar armies. Now, we move on to Forge World. Now, Forge World is an offshoot of Games Workshop. They are the same company, essentially. They do the resin miniatures, generally, not the plastic stuff. Resin being really expensive and really high detail stuff. We've got some stuff from Necromunda, which I'm just getting into, sort of, kind of. So we've got some House Grime military attaché. So they're a noble house by the looks of it. Very cool looking miniatures. I like that. And they are available to pre-order next Friday. Happy days. And if you like reading, which some of you may or may not like doing, if you do, then why are you not reading Warhammer 40k on the Black Library? Because they're bringing new crime books. So they do all sorts of like different genres. And Warhammer 40,000 is huge. The lore is massive. It hurts my brain. I can't really talk in depth about it because there's too much of it. But they're bringing a new book, Grim Repast, which is a Quillian Drask novel, apparently, by Mark Collins. There's also something else being released they sort of alluded to, but not given me any details. Thanks. And I think the final part on this particular article is Warhammer Plus, which I've just subscribed to. It's gonna be sick, because I get to watch animations. Yay! Also, I get to learn how to
Nice.
paint properly because I don't know how to paint. But they're
Magnifying
adding a bunch of
glass.
stuff available from the 15th of September. They've got a new battle report and a true metallic gold painting tutorial, a painting masterclass, they call them. Slightly different from the Warhammer TV YouTube channel where they show you how to paint a miniature from start to finish, and they show you techniques. This is a masterclass. This is the it's the dog's bollocks.
Creme de la creme.
And the host they've got for it is incredible. What she can do with a miniature and some paints, it would blow your fucking mind. It's crazy. They're also adding some more White Dwarf to the Warhammer Vault. So they've got Quest for Gal Maraz, which I believe is a book of some description. And they've got January, February, March, April 2019 White Dwarfs going up in the archives. And Angels of Death Episode 4 is also being uploaded for the animation section. And that pretty much rounds up this their community section. There is a bunch of cool stuff if you check out their Twitch as well. I'm not going to shout them out, but they're awesome. And if you're into the hobby, you'll have definitely known that they are going to be streaming anyway. There's some really cool... I wish you guys could see these. They're really nice minis. And I'm the only one that gets hype over this. These guys are just like,
No,
What?
I used to. I used to get them. Like I had a family friend who used to do them himself. But what he used to do was pass down the ones to me that he wasn't using.
Yeah.
So, like if he had any leftovers or ones that he didn't really want that came as part of the pack or what have you, and he had extras, and he'd give them to me. And I had like a big like plastic case with some of them really heavy original kind of
Lead ones,
made out of lead or aluminium or whatever it is.
They're made of lead, yeah.
Yeah, they
Old
were
minis.
really heavy, man. Like I had them in a big plastic, real thick foam protected case.
Yep.
They were beautiful. I mean, I loved them. I was trying to get into it, and then I think one day I was like, oh, I need to buy some more of these. And I went off to a shop and blah, blah, blah. Went off to, what's the name of the shop that supplies them? Never remember.
Games Workshop. Or
Is it Games Workshop?
It would have
That's
been
the one.
Games Workshop back then. It's
There
now
was-
Warhammer.
The one that we used to go to was over in Mary Hill.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Biley Hill. And so I went in there, and obviously we found out how much they were, and it was the last time I ever had them again.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it
It's
was like that.
expensive.
My mum was like, no.
It's,
that was the end of that,
yeah,
really.
It's
So,
expensive.
Yeah, that was never going to be a hobby I was ever going to be able to get into or afford as a child. So
Maybe one day you will
one
be
day,
able to.
maybe,
Never
if I
get
ever
into
come
it.
into some money, I think I know what would happen, because it would be one of these things that would become an addiction. Just like anything, I'm a bit of a hoarder. I love my models. I love anything to do with gaming.
It's very, very.
memorabilia.
Yeah, it's very nerdy. It's
It's
the.
a very
I hate
downward
being
spiral
into
for
it.
me.
I hate being into it as much as I am, but I love it at the same time because it's something I can just sit down. You guys have seen some of the stuff I've painted, some of the stuff I've built, and
I mean, gaming as it is an expensive hobby,
Oh,
but
Oh yeah.
no, this takes that gaming hobby and goes, shut up.
yeah, exactly.
Give me your
So I was
goddamn
just
fucking
like,
credit card.
just right now, it's a no go for now.
It's crazy.
I'm not going to say never, because things are changing now, and obviously a lot of the models now are made out of plastic anyway, aren't they? So-
Plastic, and they're not cheaper, but they are. I would put it in inverted commas, affordable. Some kits are not affordable.
whatever that means.
It's not
See the video with
affordable.
the air thing is going affordable.
But
Yeah,
no,
air
that's
quotes,
really cool.
affordable.
They're really cool.
They are looking nice. Anyway, we'll touch on this briefly. Now, this is going to be. We could talk about this particular next section for hours. This is the bit where
I
this
kind of feel like it needed it. Like I said, I
it
mean,
needs
I
a
wanted,
lot of attention, but we haven't got. a
Yeah,
lot of
I
attention.
wanted to do a big show on it, but you know what? At the end of the day, nothing much has come out since, if I'm honest.
No, and they're now
beginning of
condensing
it.
everything down, so it's making our lives a little bit easier.
Compact, neat,
So,
and small.
If you've not lived under a rock for the last 2-3 months, we've had that's the length of our hiatus that we had,
Yes.
because it was mental. Activision Blizzard. I'm surprised they're still a company by all
Same
I
means.
here.
can't
My
even. If
God.
I'm honest,
Um,
I'm I am absolutely disgusted that they're still here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's my stance on it. Once you've done something like this and you've allowed it to happen underneath your company.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Disgraceful, disgusting, vile scumbags. And now, I'm not saying that about the devs because, well, I'm sorry, but even some of the devs knew it was happening and did fuck all. They didn't have the balls to stand up.
That's the problem.
But some of them did, okay? And those that did either risked their jobs or walked away from their job anyway.
A lot of the big guys have walked out now. So
yes,
you've got some of the head guys at for WoW have walked out. You've had, I think, one of the head guys for the next Diablo game walked out, and this just goes to show who was in the wrong, because these people that have walked out.
Yeah, I mean, like the article that I've got here, which kind of touches upon it and everything else, but it's also displaying that this isn't just it's not necessarily just narrowed down to Activision Blizzard.
No.
There are problems outside of this company as well.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, it says here, like, a growing number of major digital gaming studios face allegations over their frat boy cultures. These aren't isolated accusations. They reflect a culture of sexism and discrimination that senior management and human resources departments perpetuate and allow, which we knew this because many of these people that have come forward have said, the bosses have said straight up, we know this is happening and we can do what we want because we've got the power, essentially, you know. And it's disgusting. Like, I cannot. As a woman personally, I mean, I also know that men have also been complaining too, so it's not just females.
No.
That are the victim. There are males too.
But this sort of shit does not belong in gaming. It just does not belong anywhere near.
All I can tell you is from someone who has been through similar experiences, I am horrified, absolutely horrified to know that the one thing I love, gaming, and the industry behind it, is that corrupt, that it would let this happen to innocent people, to people that are just trying to do their fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, when I read the story about the woman who sadly committed suicide as a result of what they'd done to her and how they shamed her. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's really not good, and it's not something that everybody wants to hear. But unfortunately, sometimes we need to hear the things that we don't want to hear in order to learn from that. And again, she should never have made to be feel like that, and to be put in that position. I can't even. It was heartbreaking to read that story.
I think now that
she was being bullied.
It now comes down to
disgusting
as well, the fact that this is now out in the open. Obviously, this is huge for someone like Activision Blizzard, and they should be fucking sued for every penny they've got and fuck off this planet. I don't give a shit.
I'm with you on that one. I'm sorry. But
it now comes
it's not
as well.
necessarily Activision. I don't think it's cause obviously Activision was a separate company before they became as one.
It's not targeting them specifically. It's more the Blizzard side.
It's more the Blizzard side.
Because Activision are now attached to Blizzard, it kind of falls to them, and their management and their name is being dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
But it needs to. If you don't disappear, you cease at least developing big games. You fall into obscurity and just do small stuff. Drop your big IPs and fuck off.
Do you know what I'd do if I was Activision? I would fuck off away from them, and I would start focusing back on. Why not focus on re-releasing things like Guitar Hero? Because this is something that everybody's been asking for recently.
So good.
I know, that's what I think, right?
Guitar Hero with the 6-button controller, not that abomination that was the last one.
Oh yeah, the last one was disgusting.
I didn't enjoy it.
I don't even talk about that one.
Guitar Hero Live was great. It just was so unsupported by the end. It was just. I was sad when they stopped supporting it.
They need to bring those back out. Focus on what made Activision have some fun. You know, Blizzard, they need to fuck off and die. I'm sorry. That's how I stand with them. But like,
hang on. Can't we give them to EA? Because EA have got rid of so many great game companies. Where are we going? Out for a walk. Come on, Blizzard, come out for a walk. Next thing, bang. Sit down there with Westwood Studios and the like.
I mean, that sounds like a good plan. Just I just don't. Now this has come out and everybody's going to start jumping on the bandwagon. There's going to be a lot of other shit that now crawls out of the woodwork.
Well, yeah, true.
So it's just a matter of time of who and where and what.
Just to touch upon it, so that people have a bit of an idea of what happened. Obviously, those that haven't, whatever. But this is the situation. Like with, so like I'm reading here, Activision Blizzard, maker of successful franchises like World of Warcraft and Call of Duty, have been sued by the state of California for alleged discrimination against female employees, sexual harassment, and failing to take steps to prevent discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. Following a company statement denying the claims, more than 3,000 former and current employees at Blizzard signed a letter calling the response abhorrent and insulting. So 3,000 people.
And you can imagine how many people have also walked out off of that.
Oh my god! I mean, it just
I don't
makes
think
you
there's
wonder,
I don't
did
think they've
all
been given a number.
3,000 have those people go through something? Have they also
yeah.
been through it? You don't know.
You don't know.
This has been going on for years.
And apparently there's been, and I don't like talking about this because a lot of people get triggered off of it. So I apologise in advance. I'm not against this, okay? But they've been apparently accused of dead naming transgender employees. Now, I worked with somebody who was trans or transitioning. It was weird. Honestly, it's weird. When you work with somebody like that, it's weird. I don't do well with that sort of change, but I accept it. It's fine. You do what you like at the end of the day.
This is the important thing, and this is what people need to be able to do, though, isn't it? Is talk about it. And at the end of the day, if people are able to... I understand, and as you've rightly pointed out, people want to go through changes. That's fine. No issue with that at all.
No.
But some people have a hard time with it. You've got to think it does affect other people, not just yourself. It affects people that are around you, that are with you, that know you, that work with you, etc., etc. They have to also go through some kind of change with you in order to accept it. It's very hard to accept someone you've known, or and to see these people change and alter how they speak, how they walk, how they talk. And it's a very difficult thing. And transitioning is, people also transition with them mentally.
Well, that's,
so,
and
that has to be accepted, I'm afraid. And they have to start understanding that it does affect people in that way mentally.
Yeah.
And
obviously
the sooner that we understand each other, the better. And that's where things will start moving forward.
Yep.
But until then, there's going to be always this slog ahead where if we actually speak out and say, look, I'm struggling with this. Obviously, I know it's something you want to do, and I'm really supportive of that. But I am finding it hard. Excuse me whilst I take time to sort of get used to the idea. That's
I'm just reading through this article. So it's dead. Okay, well I'll explain what dead naming is. So if you're transitioning, obviously you'll go from one name to another, and obviously you'll go through the procedure to transition. So dead naming is where you refer to said person by the name that they used before they transitioned. Whether intentionally or not. Apparently this happened several times, and one of the people that spoke to NME, which is what I'm reading off of, I believe his name, he was known as Andrew, or simply referred to as Andrew in the report. So in the report, he was Andrew. He may have kept his name secret, but it puts a risk of randomly being outed as transgender, which is incredibly disrespectful, which it is, because they're transitioning. They don't go by that name anymore. You have to respect that. But this went on for a year, Andrew added. A year. So
I can understand a few handful of times and where they kind of like trip up and go, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. I get it. And I'm knowing me, because I'm such a klutz and I forget things.
I'm much the same. It's just I would forget.
Accidentally probably drop it out myself, because I know what I'm like. I'm always tripping over my tongue or getting someone's name wrong, or I'm shit with names. I'm shit with places. I'm shit with pretty much everything, to be honest with you.
But I
don't even know how I get through life every day, to be honest.
You just exist. But I don't understand, like, this sort of behaviour, dead naming employees
deliberately. That's deliberate.
Deliberate or not, or I can't comment on whether it's deliberate or not. But then obviously you go through where you've got harassment happening. You've got conventions, the Bill Cosby suite.
Oh,
Now,
that was disgusting.
That's disgusting. And if you know who Bill Cosby is,
Yeah.
obviously don't Google it at your own risk. If you don't know,
just to point out as well, Bill Crosby went through a recent court case again. Like I think the decision that they made on him was overturned.
so there we go. So yeah, this is how bad it was, and they knew. They hid this. They just pushed it under the rug. This whole sweet thing where they were luring in, new employees, new female employees. They could have been, probably quite young, in the grand scheme of things. And God knows what happened in that suite, but I can imagine. Okay, we can all imagine. It's wrong.
Most definitely. I mean, apparently the employees staged a walkout anyway, and a virtual protest as well. The president of Blizzard and the head of HR resigned shortly after. So that's a good kind of positive start, Let's carry on.
But they've recently come out. Recently come out with accused them of shredding documents and interfering with its investigation.
Oh, they were, yeah.
So apparently they've actually just destroyed all of the documents and evidence. It doesn't get any better for them, clearly. But there's a lot on this whole Blizzard Activision thing, and
there is, but the thing is, it's not just them.
No.
Ubisoft also, it says here, Ubisoft Riot Games last summer.
Yep.
Ubisoft, maker of top games like Assassin's Creed, also faced allegations of sexual harassment and misconduct. Senior executives of the company, global head of HR, resigned, which obviously is just reeks of guilt.
Yeah.
And then they said, let's not forget that Riot Games, maker of League of Legends, allegations of a sexist culture emerged in 2018. This led to a company walkout in 2019 and class action lawsuits of gender discrimination. This January, Riot CEO was sued for allegedly creating a hostile work environment and making unwanted sexual advances towards workers.
So this is how deep this whole thing goes, and it doesn't belong.
International. Oh wow! Hang on a moment. This gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Data from the International Games Development Association, the IGDA Developer Satisfaction Survey, show that these cases are not a one-off. There is a growing perception among the games developers surveyed that there is no equity in the industry. So basically, there's no equality.
No.
That's what they're saying.
And that's what they're saying is that is happening to several companies, and it needs to stop. They're not going to get away with it.
The equal treatment for all in the game industry. So 74% so if we go back to 2015.
Oh, fuck's sake.
2015, 12% said in a questionnaire, is there equal treatment for all in the game industry? 12% said not sure. 39% said yes. 49% said no. 2017, 17% said not sure. 33% said yes, and 50% said no. 2019, 16% said not sure, 19% said yes, and a whopping 65% said no.
So that just goes to show.
In 2021, bringing this up to date, 14% said not sure, 12% said yes, 74% said no. So we're going backwards. Things are actually getting worse.
It's just regressing.
Yeah.
It's regressing back. What the hell? Like, I'm sorry, but this is crazy.
It's this, and so that some of these companies need to step back, look at their management, and start investigating it all themselves, because
this is just ridiculous. Survey respondents also say that they have experienced inequities or witnessed them towards other people. So they've even witnessed sexual advances. The 2021 Developer Satisfaction Survey, only 44% had never experienced inequity, and 29% had never witnessed an incident of inequity. And then they went on to say that the experiences of inequity towards yourself or others, working conditions, perceived inequity towards others. Let's have a look. Yeah, 18%. Workload, 16%. Microaggression, 47%.
Wow.
Social interpersonal, 41%. disciplines or roles, 28%. Compensation, 28%. Promotion, 28%. Hiring process, 26%. Recruitment, 27%. None, 29%. So there's definitely like an ongoing issue with microaggression, passing comments, bullying.
That's like being at school.
Like
Jesus.
Oh, it's pathetic. You know, like, companies are responsible for creating inclusive workplaces. The gaming industry is behind the curve in establishing and enforcing policies to prevent discrimination, harassment, and exclusionary practices. 2021 developer satisfaction survey, 8% of respondents said that their companies had no equity, diversity, or inclusion policies at all. 22% said they did not know if they did, and 1/4 said the companies had a safe space policy. The numbers look better for policies on sexual harassment and gender discrimination, but there is a far from universal adoption. Worse than less than half of the respondents said that there was a form of disciplinary process or action or formal complaint procedure.
Wow.
The situation is now worsening, and crucially, only 41% of respondents felt that these policies were adequately enforced. Almost half were not sure. These numbers are worse than in previous surveys throughout the years. It's just monstrous.
That just
this
hurts.
Data helps explain. Somebody else is involved. What the fuck? The data helps explain concerns raised by developers in the recent gaming industry scandals. At best, issues are ignored or mishandled by senior management at HR. At worst, senior executives are complicit in misconduct and cover-ups. The developer satisfaction survey data shows an informal and often arbitrary environment where employees have limited leverage or recourse. Ample evidence suggests companies won't change on their own. Employees must keep up the pressure. An Ubisoft developer, quoted in Kotaku, expressed demoralization. He said, and quote, "I am so jaded at this point that no matter what they do, it'll feel like lip service to me."
Yep.
But others are now speaking out, and they're filing lawsuits, mobilizing their colleagues, and perhaps most importantly, unionizing. Unions give workers a voice and a role in the regulation of their workplace. The momentum for unions in the gaming industry is growing every day.
Yep.
We can't just talk about it, but action is definitely needed. As hashtag Me Too becomes a part of daily discourse. Again, I don't like that hashtag. I've got to be honest.
The Me Too movement.
Yeah,
no,
that Me Too
it's dangerous,
movement is
dangerous stuff.
But this just goes ridiculously deep, and I feel like I said, we could talk about this for hours.
It's
it's dangerous.
Overall,
holy
I think
shit.
This is, and I'm not just going to say it's in the gaming industry, because I think this obviously does trickle feed into other
everywhere.
Industries as well. It won't just be this, but I think it's obviously a point to make, because we love our industry and we love the gaming industry, and it's just so gutting to hear that this is what's going on, and it's not fair. It's got to stop, and the only way we can do this is by having, like they say, more unions need to be had, I think. And I think
that's when I was looking at. I've been told to get a union. I don't have a union. Fight me. But when I was looking, there are a bunch that are in the now, supporting the tech sector, which includes the gaming sector. So this is a thing. There are unions out there now for these people.
There almost needs to be like an annual check or something on these big industries as well, where people are.
Yeah, you'd have thought they'd be audited, but they also need to be internally auditing their management, because the management, from what I can tell, it's the management that are the problem. You've obviously got the big CEOs, and then you've got the middle management. It filters down, and then you've got the management of the middle management, and there's too many managing. You micromanage every step, and that needs to stop. There needs to just be a CEO, and that CEO tells the managers of a department what needs to happen. And if they need like a manager to help them in a separate department of that, then that's their problem. But the managers need to be checked. Excuse me. And
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Exactly. But this is mad, and I think
all of this though shouldn't have happened
No.
to make people open their eyes. That woman should not have had to have lost her life to get noticed and to awaken people to the problems that are surrounding her. This is what happens every time. It takes someone to lose their life before somebody goes, "Oh, that's a problem, isn't it?"
Oh my!
it's no good.
No.
It's no good. They've got to stop this. They have to wake up. I'm sorry, Blizzard, but it's a big fuck you from me. You know, I'm done with you. You disgrace the industry. I kind of feel half the same about Ubisoft. It repulses me.
Considering I haven't bought a Ubisoft game for a while, and I have no intention to buy anything from Ubisoft anytime soon, you know, these companies need to now wake up, come forward, and say, okay, we've done wrong, we've got wrongdoings. We are now in the process of changing, you know, all of our management, all of our processes. They need to come forward and change. And you know, it like you say, it does come down to the fact that this is sad that this has happened. But
it has.
It's happened, and there's nothing we can do to change it. So.
Well, I'm not saying they should move on from it because that would be a big mistake. What we need to do is learn from it, not move on from it. Because if we move on from it, it means we haven't learned nothing.
No, they need to come forward, admit their failings, change for the better, and bring back that confidence that, you know, people had in your name, your company, the products you were producing. You know, because these companies are out there producing these games that we as consumers, as gamers, look at and go, oh, I really want that, you know, that next Assassin's Creed game or whatever it might be. It needs to, something needs to change. But maybe that's a discussion for another day, because we're at 2 hours, and I believe Ali's on a mobile phone.
That's going. Jim, I need more power. I'm trying to give it to you, Captain.
He can't charge it while he's on his headset because it's an iPhone. Why would we be able to do that, right?
Yeah, man, lightning connector and all that.
So
that's why I won't have an iPhone anymore.
Oh, shut up! God damn it! No, so
Android all round.
Elon Musk Android.
God damn it! So I think we're gonna we'll skip the roundup this week because I don't want Ali's phone to die, and we kind of want him to, you know, give his thoughts in the next episode that he may or may not be in, when that may be. Either way, I think this has been a great episode back. What do you guys feel? How do you feel about it? Ali, how do you feel?
Quite momentous. I mean, hello. But yeah, it's been really good. Really good.
It's been really good. And hopefully we'll hear more from Ali too, won't we, Ali?
Yes.
We're talking about doing something on, is it Saturdays or Sundays? You said you want to do something. Is it Sundays?
Sunday evenings, really. It's my free time because I do parenting on the Friday and the Saturday.
So what is it you're planning on doing? Or what was it that you wanted to do and inspire people with?
Science fiction or science fact?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's going to be interesting. I will definitely probably listen. You got plans? Is this some sort of crazy idea with another person, or is it a solo idea?
See, well, here's the thing. Some of it will be me, but I would like to include another person.
Are we going to be left on tender hooks here, or are we?
Well, the other person may or may not want to do it. That's the thing.
Well, I tell you what, that's good enough for me. We'll get more information out of him, people. We swear. Be honest.
I think it might be my fiance, possibly.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
Oh, check it.
Because they're both absolute nerd heads when it comes to science. Oh my God, once you got these two talking about science, there's no stopping them. They're both bouncing off each other with all the scientific quotes and the fucking numbers. And I could never understand a bloody word either one of them are talking about, if I'm honest.
Numbers hurt my brain, and I...
Yes, mine too. I think we better stay out of this one.
So, well, I think we're going to look forward to... hearing what you do.
It's going to be exciting.
And we're glad that you've joined us here today. And hopefully you'll join us here again soon. When that will be, we will obviously sort something out in the meantime.
Indeed.
I think I'm gonna round this off. I think it's a good time to round off. So, for our first time back in 2 months, we apologise for being away for so long. We didn't intend to be.
No.
Life did happen.
Life gets in the way. Adulting sucks.
Adulting does suck. I hate it. And everything else on that with the gaming news was mad. So, but you can catch us. We are growing. We are growing here on the Discords, which is great. And we want to see some people everywhere on the Final Fantasy 14. We would like to grow a little bit there as well.
Oh, and that brings me to a point, actually. You can catch us on Wednesday evening from around about 7:30 p.m.
That's GMT for those people.
GMT, indeed.
Is it GMT, or are we still in summertime, or have we switched over yet?
Still in summertime.
Okay,
GMT.
It's GMT.
Yeah.
October the 31st it changes, I believe.
I think so.
Oh, so it's BST then. It's British summertime, not GMT. It's BST.
BST.
So anyway, yes, Wednesday,
Anyway,
7:30.
Oh, you're confusing me, Matt.
UK clock. UK clock at 7:30 p.m. on YouTube on our Geekt channel. What it's going to do is obviously normally we do the Final Fantasy Fridays thing, but we decided to give it a miss this Friday and focus on Wednesday instead. And why, I hear you ask, people? Well, the reason being is because it is, of course, mine and my fiance's in-game renewal of vow ceremony. So we decided to make it a big event because it's the biggest event in Final Fantasy 14. Full stop. And I mean, everybody wants to be there. It's like the royal wedding, It's massive.
I don't want to be there. I'm just being dragged. It's like Dawn's like, get the fuck here, bitch.
Get over here.
What's the invite? Obviously, I do have some left over. So, the theme is Final Fantasy. So any of the Final Fantasies, turn up in your clobber, dressed up as any of your favourite characters. Bring along your chocobo, bring along whatever. If you want to just hang out with us and do the procession with us from the Sanctum of the 12 to our FC at the Goblet, you're more than welcome to do so. And you can also hang out with us in the FC in our little nightclub. That we're just going to sort of make complete dicks of ourselves.
I think we're just going to sit at home, drink a few something, and
alcohol involved.
Oh no, it's a Wednesday, isn't it? I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to skip the alcohol because it's a work day. So it's a work night. But I will definitely do something that weekend. And
we're going to have a whole lot of fun.
Normally, as well, this is a good time to announce that, and this is going to be a longer segment here on the outro. Wednesdays would actually, while it's being taken up this week, would actually be a new segment, which is a Warhammer Wednesdays. Yes, I am finally planning to get some miniatures onto Twitch. I'm leaving the YouTube streaming to Dawn because that's Dawn. She likes the YouTube streaming, and I'm going to have the ability to stream to Twitch from my PC. So we're going to be probably painting something for our first session. So look out for that and follow us on twitch.tv/Geekt Gaming and come and say hello. It's going to be awesome. We're going to paint some miniatures, we're going to chat shit, and if you've got questions about Warhammer, that is a good place to start. You can find us also on Facebook, facebook.com/Geekt, I think it is.
Yes.
YouTube.
That's who we are.
Stupid bunch of numbers and letters because we can't change it yet. But if the link is somewhere on your preferred listening platform, so follow that. If you'd like to join the Discord, there is also a link there as well. If
We're also on Spotify.
We are on Spotify. Hopefully that's where you're listening to us. But if you're not, that's cool. Thank you for listening to us on the chosen platform. I am still working on YouTube uploads and getting a new piece of software to put the audio on YouTube. Please bear with me. I apologise. A lot of my free options are not so great. So I'm working on that slowly.
Yes.
And Ali doesn't have any social media. So as much as I'd
He's like us, he has no friends. It's fine.
He has no friends.
Where's the violin?
We're friends with each other. This is what happens, you see. We have no friends externally, so we just kind of have each other.
Just have each other, really.
We're our only friend group.
Big hug.
But anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Ali, and thank you very much to the listener for joining in and hopefully enjoying the first show back. And we will see you all again real soon, i.e. Wednesday. Until then, I have no real outro here. But yes, have fun, people.
I have.
Oh, wait. Dawn has an outro. Oh, she's been thinking about it. Dawn, outro time.
So, rounding this off, thank you very much, people, for listening. And as he stated, you can find us out on all those platforms. So from us here at Geek, I wish you a farewell. Goodbye for now. Rock on, keep gaming.
Hoorah.